Hello everyone, I am Terry Candlestick and welcome back to Echo. This is going to be my playthrough of Flynn's route. Here we are at the decision. We're going to go after Flynn. I look back at Flynn as he winds his way down the trail towards the road. I sigh angrily, starting towards him. Chase, I wouldn't. Someone's got to talk sense into that idiot. He thinks I can just get away with this shit? You know how he is. I keep walking. He's moving pretty slow, so it's easy to catch up with him. He's got his hands jammed into his pockets as he walks along, his head down. Hey, Flynn! He jerks his head up, then looks back around at me. He's chewing on a toothpick, which he promptly pulls out of his muzzle. The hell? What the fuck do you think you're doing, Chase? Go back! Yeah, right. You think you can just walk away from me after saying shit like that? He stops walking and turns around, fully to face me. I step right up in front of him, just a few feet away. He looks me over and, for some reason, I can see a smile threatening to crack his face as he tries to keep it hidden. Yeah? And what are you gonna do about it? I shrug. Talk? We were having a good time. Why do you have to go and turn everything good? He suddenly steps up close, thrusting his chest out into me. It hits me around the neck and I stumble back. Not in the mood. He sticks the toothpick back in his muzzle before he turns and starts walking away again. Go back to the river so you can all talk about what an asshole I am. What? I watch him go for a bit. I'm not too worried about Flynn actually beating me up. I'd annoyed him pretty bad before, but he hadn't ever actually hurt me. At least, not maliciously. On top of that, he'd have Leo to answer to if he ever did anything like that, and he knows how that would end up. Still, he did look pretty angry when he stepped towards TJ, more than I'd ever seen him, probably. Now might not be the best time to do this. Keep going. I want to see what happens if you just turn back, but might just go to another route, so I'm not sure. But I'm going to keep going. I'll do that on my own. Screw him. Once again, he thinks the act of an asshole can just brush off whoever he doesn't want to talk to. Well, I'm about to show him exactly why that doesn't work when it's a stubborn otter he's up against. I start following again, doing a little jog to catch up. This time Flynn hears me and whirls around, pulling the toothpick out of his mouth again. Your ear's filled with water! I said fuck off! I flinch a little under his yelling, but I square my shoulders and walk up to him, standing my ground. Now I'm only 3 feet away. Or what? You gonna hit me? Really? Go on. Try it. I look him in the eye and immediately know I have nothing to worry about. This is Flynn, after all, one of my best friends. Whether or not he'd ever admit to it, our little group is family, no matter how many stupid fights we get into. He's trying to scare me, though, with the way he's leaning over me, glaring. I just smirk up at him, and pretty soon I see his facade crack. He slumps down, letting out a massive sigh, deflating like a life-sized lizard balloon. Fucking otters. What do you want? I want you to stop being a dick. Flynn looks right back at me and glares, some of the posturing coming back. What? Oh Christ, you heard me! That is not a good thing to say to me right now. Flynn starts leaning over me again, and I lean right back, almost bumping muzzles. Yeah, well, everything you said back there was not a good thing to say. I see the corner of one of his eyes twitch. We're so close I can smell the beer on his breath. I can see that smirk tug at his muzzle again.
Coming in for a kiss?
He presses even closer, and I feel my muzzle flash, but I'm not backing down.
I see how it is. You're bored with Leo, and now you want some lizard action, eh?
No, I just want an explanation. He raises a brow and leans back a little. Of why you're being such a dick when we're all supposed to be having fun.
Actually, I think I know exactly what this is. You're trying to prove me wrong. Well, being an obnoxious twit doesn't suddenly mean you've got a personality. Anyway, they told me to speak my mind. I did.
He turns away again and starts walking. I quickly catch up and start walking alongside him. That's not an answer. Besides, even if something's true, it doesn't mean you have to point it out in the middle of everyone's vacation. Flynn keeps walking, opting to glare at the dusty trail. Do you really think I'm just looking to bone all of you? I'm not. Flynn laughs, and for once, it's not cynical. It's genuine.
I think what you're doing right now isn't helping your case, Chase.
What? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you, Flynn. My phone buzzes, and I pull it out.
Are you okay?
It's a text from Leo. Everything is fine, and I'm just trying to talk to Flynn. Flynn snorts right in my ear, making me jump. I jerk my phone away as I realize he's been reading over my shoulder.
What? Wolfie boy thinks I'm gonna clock you for being annoying.
You almost hit TJ.
Almost.
At this point, we're walking along Lake Emma Road, the trail winding between it and the reservoir itself. There is a little guardrail on the lakeside, but it's rusty, and I seriously doubt that it would stop any car from going over into the lake. Another 10 minutes and we'll reach the motel. My phone buzzes again as I get a response from Leo.
If he does anything, call me.
Flynn sighs again. He stops and I turn to face him. He looks sad, for once, staring hard at the ground.
I just sort of blacked out for a second. I was angry.
That's what murderers say after they kill their exes.
Jesus, Chase. Well, okay, I fucked up.
Yeah, no shit.
It's just something that's been fucking with me ever since it happened. That he's not telling the truth.
Flynn looks up at me sharply.
You know he isn't.
Flynn's staring at me hard, as if he's looking for something, and this time I do look away. Well, what if he is?
No, you saw him right after it happened. How scared he was. How he couldn't look at any of us.
I have no idea what to say. Flynn never talks about this. Before today, the last time I'd heard him mention Sydney was like 6 years ago.
It really fucked me up. And that we thought we could just come back to this stupid fucking lake.
He kicks his foot across the ground towards the reservoir, some pebbles falling over the steep drop and plopping into the water. It fucked us all up, but Flynn most of all. Look, Flynn. Maybe something did happen. Something he doesn't want to tell us. But it's TJ. You know what kind of person he is.
And that's what makes us so fucking shitty.
We were kids. He was like 10 years old. We're different people now. Looking behind Flynn, I see Leo's van coming up the road. Flynn waits for me to go on, but sees me looking back and does so himself. As soon as he sees the van, he folds his arms and turns his head to look out across the lake. As it pulls up alongside us, the window rolls down, and I see Jenna in the passenger seat, Leo next to her.
Hey, we're heading back. Want to get in?
Flynn doesn't say anything, instead choosing to continue staring at the lake. I decide that it's probably a good idea for me to walk with him instead of making him do it alone. Nah, it's alright. We're just talking. Leo shifts his gaze to Flynn, studying him before turning back to me.
Alright, text me later, okay?
Okay. The window rolls back up as the van pulls away, kicking up some dust from the roadside as it does. I turn back to Flynn, who's still looking at the lake, chewing slowly on his toothpick. That's when his stomach growls so loudly it almost makes me jump. I snort, and Flynn fixes me with a glare.
What? I didn't get to eat.
Neither did I. Which is your fault. Flynn grunts and keeps walking up the trail toward Echo, the town's windows and rusted signs glinting in the desert haze. I skip up alongside him. Hey, why don't we go to the diner? It's just a few minutes away. Flynn grimaces.
I can't eat that shit anymore.
What? When's the last time you ate there?
A few years ago.
Wow. What do you eat then? Flynn laughs.
I go to Peyton, where they actually have grocery stores.
Oh, okay. A few moments of silence pass before Flynn speaks up again.
I guess it wouldn't hurt to eat there again, for old time's sake.
As we walk into the diner, my senses are assaulted by nostalgia. Everything looks and smells the same, from the faded, patched stools to the smell of burgers and fries. Out of habit, I start walking towards the corner booth, the one we always used to sit at.
Where are you going?
Huh? I look back at Flynn, who's standing near the counter, looking ready to sit on one of the stools. Oh, come on, Flynn. Those are uncomfortable. Besides, it'll be easier to talk. Some of the patrons are starting to look up from their meals. Flynn looks around, clearly embarrassed, and shoves his hands into his pockets, making his way over to me.
Fine.
I slide into the booth, into my usual spot on the right-hand side. Usually, Leah would sit next to me. Flynn sits opposite me, leaning back, eyes half open. Tired?
Yep.
Wait for him to elaborate, but he doesn't go on. Late? Flynn reaches up and rubs his eyes.
Yeah.
The long breath he takes in before he says that tells me he's starting to get annoyed, so I drop it. Luckily, that's when Janice, the old diner waitress, comes over to our table. Chase? My goodness, what are you doing here? Hi, Janice. Just doing a school project.
Oh, really? I wonder what sort of schooling might be here for ya.
I'm actually just getting some film of the town. Flynn's covering both eyes with his hands now, as if that's going to make him invisible.
And you, Flynn? Can't say I've seen you at all recently.
Flynn makes a low, grunting sound, not taking his hands away. Janice keeps talking, though, unfazed.
Well, anything you'd like to drink while you're just eating on your meal?
Water.
Chase?
Ooh. After all the bullshit, I'm going for a root beer float. Let's go! Can I get a root beer float, please?
Sure thing.
Flynn does move his hands at this point and looks at me. His expression is odd, like he wants to say something. I look back and raise my brows, but he just shuts his muzzle and looks out the window.
All right, I'll be right back with you.
As Janice moves on to some other patrons, I look back at Flynn. Were you gonna say something? Flynn shakes his head, folding his arms on the table and hunching forward.
No.
Somehow his mood is even darker than it was earlier. I sigh, frustrated. It's so damn hard to understand Flynn. His mood swings are absolutely ridiculous. I lean back and fold my arms, scowling.
What?
You know exactly what. I'm trying to be friendly here. Flynn shrugs, bewildered expression on his face.
I don't know what to say, Chase. It's been a shitty day.
I don't say anything, and just look out the window like Flynn. Again, there's a tense silence between us. I just listen to the clatter of silverware from the two other people in the diner, along with the old rockabilly music playing over the crackly speakers. Finally, Flynn sighs. I decide that's his signature expression, like Carl's shrug.
Sorry. I'm just... like I said, it's been a shitty day.
It's fine. That's when Janice brings over our drinks before taking a notepad out to take our orders.
All right, what do you have?
The tuna melt, onion rings.
Uh-huh. And you, Chase?
Do that too. Do tuna melt. I'll get the tuna melt too.
All righty. And what do you have on the side?
Onion rings. Onion rings, please. Flynn is staring at me in a weird, squinting sort of way, as if he's trying to see something.
Great! I'll have it right over. Sit tight.
As Janice bustles away, I look to the side, then back at Flynn.
What?
Flynn keeps squinting, his face incredulous now.
Do you really not?
He doesn't finish his sentence, and instead shakes his head.
Never mind.
Seriously? You're kind of freaking me out. Flynn chuckles and covers his eyes again, rubbing.
Same.
What the hell is he talking about? I'm opening my mouth to ask again, but he cuts me off.
Listen, I've got the day off tomorrow. Do you want to do something?
I stare at him, at a loss for words. First, he's acting like a complete douche. Then, he tells me I'm scaring him, and now he's inviting me to hang out with him? Is he... what do you call it? Bipolar? I guess...
Alright, I'll come by sometime afternoon, maybe with Carl. He doesn't do shit, so he should be free.
Okay, I guess I could use a break from working on the project for a bit. Flynn goes on to tell me that he and Leo often go out to fish on their days off, and that it's actually a lot of fun. I'm still trying to get used to the shift in conversation when Janice shows up with her food. Flynn stares down at his giant, greasy sandwich while I take a giant bite of mine.
Fuck, I'm gonna regret this.
Why? Tastes great.
Well, you're lucky. This kind of food fucks up my stomach.
Do you make your own food?
Yep.
I snort, and Flynn looks up sharply. Sorry. It's just hard to imagine.
Hey, I'm a real good cook.
I guess the expression on my face is showing. I don't buy it because he smirks back at me.
Fine. Sometime this week, you're coming over. I'll show you then.
I shrug, even though I feel like I've won some kind of secret battle we're having.
Deal.
Flynn pulls me over rocks and boulders. I stumble along, trying to keep my balance. Flynn's insistent, though, almost angry. We reach the edge of the lake and he throws me down. I stare at the wet sand, then back up at Flynn. He points and tells me to dig. I start digging. I don't know what I'm looking for, and I ask, but Flynn doesn't say anything. Water keeps filling the hole. It's hard to keep sand from sliding back in. Finally, I reach in deep, and someone grabs my paw. I stay like that for a long time.
Tuesday.
So, I wanted to do Flynn's route for myself, and see how it goes. I think it's going to be fun. I would like to know what happens with some of these different decisions. Like if you order the same thing as Flynn at the diner, or actually turn back. Because I think that's like another chance for another route, but I'm not sure. I wonder if it actually changes anything in the other routes. So, that's something I want to look into. Damn. But there's a couple of decisions I'd really like to look at. For this route, I actually told Jenna, because I started a new game for this route. I told Jenna at Southwestern Adventures that Chase is gay, not bi. Because I would actually like to do my own playthrough of Jenna's route as the gay. And I want to see how that changes it. And then see if I should do a playthrough of that on the channel. Because one thing that Finn and I did with Carl's route, we chose different options than what I had chosen in my playthrough. And I had no idea there was that very, very bad end where Carl gets possessed by his great-grandfather or whoever. I know, I should know this. My whole channel is based off of it. But that was the first time I'd ever seen that. And I was like, holy crap, that's cool. There's probably some other endings I missed. So I have to look for those. But that's all in the future. That'll do it for this part. The first part of Echo Flynn's route. So if you enjoyed, please let me know. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. Bye!